Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon, and today we're looking at a very interesting archetype. It's going to be Pikachu Magnezone. This was actually popularized by the genius brain of Andrew Mahone. He took this deck to a League Cup and got a top 4 finish with it just this weekend, and I thought, yeah, this is a fun one, and it's one to profile for the channel because it's interesting, and it may be like crazy rogue that ends up going far in a tournament, who knows. I will leave a link to his channel in the description. He has recently started to do competitive YouTube videos for Deriums competitive Pokemon, and it's an awesome channel. He is a very good personality, and he is very knowledgeable about the game as well, so he is very good for all aspects of the game. Very competitive players like the people watching our channel, hopefully, and also beginners of the game. They can also get on board with his stuff because he is entertaining and explains things in a very simplified way, which is very good. So huge props to him, loving his early content, and I really hope he sticks with it. And today we will be basically looking at his archetype, but with a very different list. After having a few games with his list, I wasn't really enjoying it, and there were some big omissions from there as well. So I'll go into those changes later on in the video. For now, let's go through the overall archetype, and this is going to be the Stage 2 Magnezone that has never really lived up to the expectations of being a very strong card. Throughout the history of Pokemon, there's always been rain dancers in the game. Rain dancers, even things like base set Blastoise was able to do this. And we've seen it go through the generations. There's been new updated Blastoise, there's been Emboars, there's been all sorts of Pokemon Stage 2s that can flood energy onto the board every single turn. And Magnezone was one of these cards, and it never really made an impact in the format at all, actually, and that's pretty upsetting. And finally, now in the era of Stage 2 Pokemon in this 2018 standard format, it could be time for Magnezone to shine with the partner of Pikachu EX. The partnership is actually very similar to previous builds of Blastoise Black Kyurem, where you're trying to blow things up, basically. This is a bit more glass cannon-like because Pikachu EX is very fragile, and we're going to be using Mew to copy these attacks, which I'll go into detail in a moment, but the theory is very simple. It's very similar to Vikabulu, actually, in how the deck plays. Vikabulu, I believe, is the more solid archetype overall, and it also has a better Greninja matchup, but this deck has a much better Magnezone, and it has even a better Gardevoir. Like, when it gets rolling, it is much more of a high roller deck, but when you are in this setup, you're dealing like 250 damage, and it's not a huge issue for you, and that's pretty crazy to think about, really. So yeah, let's get into the archetype and talk about the card decisions. So first of all, a 303 line of Magnezone. This is a pretty cool idea from Mahone, saying that you don't really need the Magneton in the deck when there's no item lock in the format other than Noivern, which isn't very strong. You can play high Candy, high Skyla, and hope to hit into your candies and forget about Magneton, he's too slow. So let's have a look at the best Magnemite that we have. This is a 60 HP Magnemite that has an amazing ability, Sparkling Induction. As long as this Pokemon is your active, its retreat cost is 1 less for each Magnemite on your bench, which actually means we have 6 potential lead Pokemon that all have free retreat, the 3 Mew and Magnemite, as long as you have another one in play, which is excellent for you. So yeah, moving out of the active into your Mews is going to be helpful because it protects your Magnemites on the bench for future turns to make sure that he can one day grow up and become Big Daddy Magnezone, which is a 140 HP Stage 2. It does actually have a metal resistance, which is important to note for specifically Metagross, because they can't Guzma KO with this amount of HP and the resist, which is actually really good for you. This is the ability I was mentioning, the Rain Dance effect. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a lightning energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So as soon as you have energy in the hand, you can just start whapping it all down and doing big crazy numbers with the attackers that we have in the deck. It does also have Thunder Blast as an attack. For 2 lightning and a colourless, you deal 100, discarding a lightning from this Pokemon. It can finish things off if ever you aren't getting 1-hit KOs, but the whole intention of the deck is to get one big 1-hit knockouts every single turn, so there we go. It does have a big retreat cost, and that's something to note. We only play Guzma and Koko in terms of moving, but in general we can just get so much energy on the board that it doesn't really punish us too much, so that's the concept there. Let's have a look at this elusive Pikachu EX. It's actually an XY promo from one of the boxes, and it has 130 HP for an EX. That is terrible, making this a real glass cannon type attacker. With its main attack, Overspark, for a lightning and 2 colorless, you deal 50. Discarding all lightning energy attached to this Pokemon, it does 50 times the amount of energy you discarded. So we're trying to hit, 5 energy. It means we can one-hit knock out Guardies and Metagross GXs, which is crazy. Really crazy, in fact, because we can even be doing this with the Mew, which is a non-EX. And a non-EX dealing that amount of damage, it's pretty much the same theory as like a Night March or like a Rainbow Force type deck, where your prize trade is just insane. So copying this attack with Mew is a big aspect of the deck, but of course Pikachu can attack as well, and he is also, proficient at using Overspark. So yeah, that's the main attack that we're going to be copying. And we have the Iron Tail attack as well. I mean, I've never used this attack so far, but there are some weird situations where the math could be helpful. Flip a coin until you get tails. This does 30 times the number of heads. I mean, it's really bad. You never really want to be using Iron Tail. You would rather be using things like Encounter, even, or copying things like Iron Pool, with Memories and Dawn instead. But there may be times where this little poke of 30 could change numbers here and there. The other lightning type attacker we are going to use is Tapu Koko GX. 170 HP is a lot more bulky. Thank goodness we have something that can tank a hit in this deck. No weakness as well also helps to that bulk. There aren't too many fighting Pokemon anyway, so like the weakness on Pikachu doesn't really have a big impact, but regardless, having no weakness is good. Its ability Aero Trail can get us out of the active in a pinch if we are being stalled, because when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may move any number of lightning energy from your other Pokemon to this one, and if you do, switch it into the active, which is pretty cool. You can see that there's a lot of chunky retreaters, Magnezone, Octillery, those are awkward, so if they get stuck, we have double Guzma and Koko to get ourselves out of there. It does have the Sky High Claws attack, which is really important for this deck actually. It's some stable damage, and you'll notice that the attack we'll be copying most with the Mew is actually Overspark, right? So every single turn we need to reload our energy, we need to have another explosive turn to get a bunch back so that we can go for big knockouts all over again. But with Sky High Claws, it stays on the board. We have this amount that is retained for the following turns, which is a real big deal, especially against Garbodor style decks, because we can't use our Octilleries and we can't use our Magnetic Circuit on Magnezone when there's a Garbodor sat in your face. So having this stable damage, which is enough to knock out things like Trashalanche or Garbotoxin itself, it's going to be important. It also has the Tapu Thunder GX attack, which can also be a big one-hit knockout against exactly pretty much Gardevoir GX, and against things like Volcanion. You get a big knockout with Tapu Thunder, and it forces like responses quite nicely. So yeah, good card indeed, and he's an extra addition, which I like, over just playing like a third Pikachu, because he gives you more versatility and a bit more HP as well. Next up, we are going to play 3 of the Mew from Fates Collide, one of my favourite cards actually, and proving its versatility once again with its ability Memories of Dawn. This Pokemon can use the attacks of any of your basic Pokemon in play. You still need the same energy, but that's fine. So we're just going to be copying Overspark. Getting ridiculous numbers with a little 50 HP Mew is troll, and it's also very fun. So Free Retreat is another really helpful addition to the deck. So we have so much Free Retreat in here in the early turns, it's nuts. It means that Guzma's always a live target, and you never have a downside really, because you can just throw a Mew and then retreat back into whatever you want if it's not the Mew itself, or you could retreat first, then Guzma after to bring the Mew back into the active. All good stuff, and it does have the Encounter attack, which is icing on the cake, and does help the consistency of this deck. You're able to search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. This is basically half of a beacon that we've seen and loved from Alolan Vulpix. The reason why I'm not playing Alolan Vulpix is because bench space is kind of tight. I think of my overall board state, I want to have 2 Magnemites, I want to have a Remoraid, I probably need to Lele for Brigette, I want to have a Pikachu, and I want to have 2 Mews. That's my ultimate board state. So if there are matchups, especially against like other stage 2s, Vulpix can oftentimes just stay on the board, because people will Guzma round Vulpix because they don't want to KO that guy. They'd rather deal with Pikachu, Lele, or Magnezone itself. So oftentimes Vulpix stays on the board the entire game from my early testing, and I hated that. So I prefer just having the Mew, because most of the time you're looking for just one Pokemon anyway. You're looking for like Octillery or Magnezone. Yes, getting 2 will be great in certain circumstances with the beacon, and yes, you could copy it with Mew itself for free, which is awesome. but just the extra bench slot is really terrible, and I would rather have the space for an extra Lele later down the line, so that's why I'm not playing Vulpix. But yeah, the 3 Mew, main attacker, great lead, and can also search out Pokemon while you're trying to get set up, so it fills so many roles, and it's an awesome card in here. Next up, 3 Tapu Lele. Wonder Tag, as we know, is nuts. I land on 3 in quite a few decks for consistency purposes. Very good card, and with the amount of ramp we have with Magnetic Circuit, Energy Drive is always an option for you as well to finish things off if we haven't quite made the one shot, or again just for some stable damage if we are going to face ability locking decks. So there we go. We are going to play the 2/2 line of Octillery. This is where the deck differs heavily from Vikabulu, because mainly we need to draw more cards than Vikabulu. Vikabulu can play with like a 0-card hand quite a lot because it gets so much energy from the deck, whereas this deck with Magnezone, you need to have all the energy in hand for them to play all back onto the board. So we need to have Octillery to make sure that we can draw into our Fishermans and our Retrievals and Letters and physical energy cards in the first instance to get these big damage knockouts going. So Octillery, very important as a 2/2 of in here. So let's have a look at the items. We're going to play one of Rescue Stretcher, a very versatile card. You can see we have some fairly cheeky, like low counts of certain things. Just the 2 Pikachu, even though in theory it's our main attacker, because we use it via Mew. Oftentimes we don't need more, and Stretcher's going to make that a little bit safer, especially if like one's prized. Getting back Lele for late game is going to be great. Getting back Octillery pieces if it's targeted. Magnezone pieces as well if Magnemites are going down early on. Stretcher's just a really nice versatile card that can help us out in many spots. We are going to play double Professor's Letter. It's really nice in combination with Skyla to guarantee some energies, and just in general, whenever you draw this, you're pretty happy because you can get double value from Magnetic Circuit. Otherwise, it would just be physical basic energy. I know Mahone played 12 physical energy. It's a lot of energy to play in your deck, and I would rather have Letter to thin the deck a little bit more. So there we go, and it's searchable via Skyla. Double Field Blower. The biggest like jaw drop for me was that Mahone played no blower in his list. That's really bad against Garbotoxin, so we're going to play Double Blower. It can test the stadium because things like Parallel City would be horrible from like Espeon Garb, and also the Float Stones on Garbotoxin are obviously terrible for this deck, so having a way out of those is really integral. I'm surprised Mahone didn't play any, to be honest. 4 Energy Retrieval. Just because we discard with Overspark, that's our mainly used attack, so recycling those is going to be good. Similar concept to the Letter, really. We're going to play 4 Rare Candy, obviously important for Magnezone, and 4 Ultra Ball, important for turn 1 Lele Brigette plays, important for Octillery, also lowers the hand size so we can keep getting Abyssal Hand draws, and of course it gets the turn 2 Magnezone, which is integral. The supporters, we're going to play double Brigette, 2 important to prize 1, especially when you're a stage 2 deck, and stage 1 elements in here as well. 2 of Guzma, I'd kind of want a third. There's a lot of 61st cards in this deck. Guzma is definitely one of those cards, especially because we play no other switching options. So it's kind of awkward, but we just have to settle for 2 really. Double Fisherman, it's 200 damage basically. When you can get full value from him, just getting 200 damage back is pretty nuts. So yeah, Fisherman pretty cool. Double Sycamore as well, discard 7, still powerful draw. I prioritize some other supporters in here, but Sycamore is still a powerful option to Lele for at times. The other option I'm prioritizing is Skyla, very similarly to Vikabulu. I like a high Skyla count to guarantee that Magnezone as quickly as possible, and it can get you Blower as well, which is integral against Garbodor decks, so Skyla as well, pretty important card. And we're going to play 4N. I prefer having a high N count to high Sycamore, because you're shuffling combo pieces back into the deck if you have like part of the combo in your hand, which is a big deal, and you're also not discarding important cards like Retrievals and Fishermans, which Sycamore would be doing, because all these cards are really important to make sure we have enough energy to fight through the game overall. So I like having N in here. Even later on you don't care too much, it's disrupting the opponent whilst you're getting Abyssal Hand value anyway, so you don't mind, you can restock your own hand. And finally 9 Lightning, it's pretty much on the low side. I would kind of want to fit in a 10th. I know Mahone did play 12, that's like a crazy high amount. I'm happy that I put Letters in here instead, but there have been times when I've prized 1 or 2 and it does get a little bit awkward, so bear in mind I kind of want to fit in an energy here or there. The things I'm thinking of so far would be going to a 2-1 Octillery line. That kind of makes me nervous though, so that's why I haven't done that. Maybe trimming the supporter line even further, and again, that makes me a little bit nervous, so we haven't gone for those. Let's have a look at a few different options for the deck. Raikou, a lot of the time, because Raikou and Magnezone came out in the same set, a lot of people try to like partner them in the early stages of this deck being conceptualized. But we're just a lot more one-hit KOE in here, and when we have so many like low HP targets on our bench and stuff, trying to tank with a non-EX doesn't make much sense. We'd rather just be blowing up our opponent's stuff and accepting we can get 2-for-1 trades with the Mew instead. Raikou is just a little bit slow and doesn't fit the theme very well. We are going to play Alolan Vulpix with that beacon attack. Sorry, we're not playing it, but you could play it. I already mentioned that I just like Mew instead because it's not only a lead, but it's also an attacker for the late game. So Vulpix sucks up a bench spot, which I'm not too pleased with. That's why I've not gone for it. One of the cool cards that Mahone played was actually Clement, which gets 4 of your Lightning Energy from deck, all into hand, which is very strong. It's, again, similar to Fisherman, it's 200 damage. But fishing them from the deck is also very good, because it then makes things like Retrieval live a lot quicker. So Clement could be played as a one-of. Again, I feel like I've already mentioned my like ultimate board state, where you have like Pikachu, double Mew, Octillery, Magnezone, probably a Magnemite. And in there you don't have space for multiple Lele, which means you can't fish out one of Clement very often. So that's why I've not gone for him. I think he's a little bit too cute. Speaking of too cute, I don't really rate Choice Band. I first tried Choice Band in my list because Mahone played 2. I had them in there. I wasn't a big fan, to be honest, just because when the deck is rocking and rolling, damage isn't a concern. And Choice Band doesn't help you get going. So that's why I've not gone for that. Plus, we've had to make space for like Field Blower, like a way better card to play in the deck. So yeah, there we go. That is my affectionately named Mahone 2.0. I've only played like a handful of games, but I've been learning a lot about the deck as I've gone, and I've made changes accordingly because I've found, oops, well, this is annoying. I found some issues here and there, and I'm much happier with my build now. And I believe this is more than just a meme. It is very similar to Vikabulu in terms of its setup. It basically trades a good Greninja matchup that Bulu has for a much better Metagross and a much better Guardi, which is a good trade in fairness. So Mahone has targeted a deck that, well, you target matchups really with this deck, which is pretty interesting. And there's like Bremen coming next week, and maybe this turns a few heads before that. It may put people off playing things like Metagross, which could be quite funny to see. So we'll see what we come up against on the ladder. Looks like we have a Gardevoir first off, so pretty interesting matchup for us. Going second is always a bad thing in evolution decks, but the opponent has won the flip here. He's got a really awesome like Lycanroc thing going on as well. Pretty cool. Right, does he ever want to choose what's going on here? There we go. So we have a really bad opening hand. Like, terrible. Looks like we'll be encountering for Lele. What a grim hand this is. I'll hold Pikachu for now. If you have a 5-card hand rather than a 4-card hand, they're more likely to end. But regardless, they're going to look for turn 1 Brigette no matter what. They led Vulpix as well, that's so nice. Wish I was that skillful. Okay, there's Remoraid and Rolts. Attachment. Maybe we will get end here. Oh my goodness. Oh my lord. Well, we did have Encounter to fall back on, but this is amazing. Oh, into a Brigette no less. Unreal. Unreal scenes. Okay, we got ourselves a game. We have both Pikachu. Coco is something to note. We have, for candies, we have a Skyla in here as well, so we can Lele next turn. Only one Guzma. How many energy are we looking at? All 9 are in here, which is good. Okay, we can live with this. Let's get all the Magnemites down. We actually have everything that we need, so I might just encounter for a Pikachu. because next turn we can Ultra Ball away Mew and our top deck card, or the N itself, to get ourselves Lele for Skyla. So we'll just encounter here, and we'll grab a Pikachu. We're actually set on the nuts here, which is pretty cool. Man, that N changed the game so much. So we're going to see an Ultra Ball from our opponents. Going to see another Ralts. Looks like they're trying to develop as much as possible. One big issue for this deck is actually Gallade. You can of course KO Pikachus, and it skews our prize trade. We'd much rather be KOing big Guardies than taking one prize on a Gallade. But, oh, they have another N. Okay. Well, that's reasonable. Bye-bye, amazing hand. Hello, our starting hand that we had. Pretty much. They grab a Curlier and they can finish on Beacon here. Times like this, right? Like a Beacon of my own. But think about the bench space. I want a Lele and I want other things, so... Oh, okay. That's pretty good. Sure. Just take the KO and have Fisherman to fall back on. I don't hate it. We could just Lele N. It feels kind of slow though. I think we just do this and try and tempo out. I could even encounter actually. Maybe encounter's my play. Yeah, it should be encounter. It's too risky for me to just be greedy. We'll just do this. Yeah, I'm just going to do both. To the bench. I'm just going to go for Octillery. Let's not be too greedy for a single prize. We could end up really hurting ourselves. Looks like they've got their own Octillery, as we know from the Beacon. So they're going to Guardy, and they're also going to Ultra Ball. Grabbing more Ralts seems like a good idea. Gonna see the Secret Spring. Maybe to the active to retreat. Yeah. Abyssal Hand. And just a Beacon, okay. Continuing to go slowly. That's fine by me. Probably go for a Gallade and a Curlier, I would guess. Just Curlier. Oh, Curly Guardy, okay. Like I said, I'm much happier to see Guardies than Gallades. We'll cash them on 3 draws before the N. Definitely want to N away the Beacon. It's flashy to go for a second Magnezone, but I don't think we need it. Going with Fisherman's actually really bad in this matchup because we need to spam Pikachu a lot. Okay, second energy is all we needed, so that's fine. No, yeah, it is all we needed. Feels like overcommitting, but we've got to initiate the race. The one prize now may not look good, but if he ever does go Gallade, it's going to be good, so it's fine. Lele Fisherman not quite good enough just yet. It's where Clement would be awesome. But that's very specific. So they send up a Ralts, which is kind of interesting. Maybe they're going for a Guzma play. See a Candy for a Guardy on the bench. You can see an Ultra Ball. Gets rid of a Ralts. They're grabbing Lele. DCE, so that's 90. Get a Guzma Octillery maybe? Definitely Guzma. I guess he's going Octillery. It's a solid play. Octillery is important for our setup for sure. Wow, he's hoping. He's hoping. That's so greedy. Oh, you missed. Oh boy. Okay. That moment when greed actually got punished. Incredible. Well, let's end. We need to hit a lot of energy this turn. We need to hit 5. Yeah, we hit none. Seems good. Can't even encounter. Can't even Abyssal Hand. Okay, we'll pass. It's time like this where you wish you were playing Vikabulu. Oh well. Okay, they've got another Candy here. Is it another Guardy or is it finally Galade's time? Oh, it's Galade. Problems. Okay, they're going to continue to attach to Guardy. We want to find Koko quite badly once this guy goes down. They're going to Ultra Ball to thin the hand for Abyssal Hand. They can Premonition first actually. And they will. Poor Pikachu. The greed went unpunished. They could even retreat and KO with Delayed. Because they've only Secret Springed so far. Yeah, that's what they're going to do, it looks like. Oh no, they're going to stick with the Guardy active. It's way better for us, but sure. Lele doesn't give us space for anything, so we just have to Sycamore here. Field Blower not very useful. Magnezone might be important. I think the second Ultra Ball is more useful though. We definitely go Koko this turn because it forces the other Guardy out, which is better for us. Sure, have an energy, bro. Abyssal Hand, keep drawing cards. Sure. Let's do a cheeky 400 damage. So the Guardy has to come up, then we'll go down to 2 prizes. We have weakness on the Galade with our Mew, so we don't actually have to put down another EX. So the idea is Mew takes a... Oh no, wait, we have to put the Pikachu down. Okay, this is actually difficult. I need to KO with this, with Pikachu down, and they need to not Premonition Octillery into another Guzma, which is pretty sad. Okay, this is hard. Still have 2 retrievals. I haven't played a supporter as of yet. Maybe they'll end us, but they've just premonitioned, so probably not. Maybe they just take the knockout now. I'm going to choice band for what it's worth, and they're going to go for the knockout. Okay. Fisherman's good, but we have to end 100%, right? There's no attack that I can copy with. I guess we could Lele Guzma. Oh wait, that still gets 2 prizes on the board. But it's less easy 2 prizes. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. He would have to have DCE Guzma rather than just Guzma. Ending is still best. Ending is still best. We have Letter, we have 2 retrievals, we have Octillery. It's not easy though. Oh boy. I really want to stretch a Pikachu back. No, actually we don't. Our opponent has 2 prizes. Let's just try and give us the highest odds of hitting energy, because we actually need that. Like, we genuinely need that a lot. Okay. Well, we have the knockout, which is something. It's just if they can premonition draw into Glade, which should into Guzma, which is likely. 6, 9, 12, 15. We'll just hold this. I guess I can attach it. I think we've lost this game. Having both of these set up just pretty much guarantees he can Guzma for game, I would say. Only 18 cards left in deck. There's a very high chance of accessing Lele, Ultra Ball. Oh no, Ultra Ball's gone. But like, he has 1 Lele, at least 1 Guzma, probably 2. So he should be fine. Yeah, promoting the Lele shows he's fishing for Guz. He may already have it in his hand. The attachment flow is hand sized to have 3 draws, but as long as it's in his top 5, he's got game. The fact that he did it pretty quickly means he probably fished for it. Anyone? Anyone? Yeah, he got us. So our route had to have been KO with Lele, right? We had to Lele Guzma this, and then we had to Energy Drive. Oh no, Energy Drive doesn't hit for weakness. Oh, we would have had to KO with Magnezone. But even then, putting the Lele down when he has Guardy with 3 energy and a band, that doesn't sound smart. Yeah, there you go. Man, damn it, memes. Come on, we can win. Oh, we're against Team Fish Knuckles. Yo! Okay. Memes v potential memes. What day is it? Monday? Probably Sunday for him. What does he do on a Sunday? I don't know. Maybe he does it all on a Sunday and tricks us all. Who knows? We'll see. We're playing Mahone's Madness. We have Tom on Brigette. It's pretty nuts. Oh, losing to this is going to be funny. Okay. Oh, man. Crab Brawler, huh? Guzma pass. Well, that's pretty grim. Do I just go Sushi Master? Or Skyla Sycamore? Probably Skyla Lele Sycamore. I could have got rid of both ends and grabbed Octillery and kept the Magnezone. Maybe that was actually better. 7 cards is 7 cards though. How important is Field Blow going to be? Don't think it's important, but I don't have anything else I'd like to discard. 2, 3. We'd only get 1 draw. I mean, we do need to Guzma this game because we need to take non-EX. We need to take GX prizes for sure. Let's just take the 1 draw and then we'll encounter for something next turn. I don't know what's going on, I'll be honest. Wow. That's big damage right there. Best part is I can't actually do anything about this until I get a Magnezone. Oh, wait. Uh-oh. Okay, we only have 1 Magnezone. Like, we don't have any Magnezone. We need to hit our stretcher. Okay, this is an unexpected thing because I haven't been prize checking because I've been bad at this game. Okay, focus. We're going to lose to Crabrawler. But focus. Just focus on your goals. Gotta do this. Gotta do this. Now I have to end him, which is hilarious. Oh my god, we were so lucky. That is so lucky. That's unreal. That's actually ridiculous. Well, we're dealing with a Crabrawler. I never thought I'd say that. If this is main deck Monday, I'm gonna be so troll. These are weak to Psychic, so I don't actually have to put down Pikachus this game. We can just copy Thunder Blast on our Muse. Which is good news. Good news, everyone. Oh wait, it's only basic Pokemon, right? Damn, we can't copy this. I always think about the EX. There's Big Boy Gutsy Hammer. Max rarity Crabrawler. Oh my god, he plays Garb. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we only have one blower. Uh-oh. Okay. Things get harder all the time here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I guess we go aggro Lele. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 14. Yeah, we only need 14, right? What a troll. I doubt he plays DCEs. So we're just going in. How many items have we played? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Oh boy. It's a lot of items. Another Crabrawler. Another Crabrawler. And another Sycamore. More max potions. What fun. Ooh, okay, it's not Garbatoxin at least. Another pass from him. I think I want a Skyla for Guzma. Because I think I'm going to need to deal with Garbatoxin. It's very slow, but it's really all we have. Okay, both Trash Launch, so does he have... Yeah, he has Choice Band. I guess he plays Rainbows. If he plays Special Charge... Yeah, there's Rainbow. Well, at least there's no ability lock. So we're just gonna Fisherman and Overspark. We definitely don't want to attach this, do we? Maybe Lele. No, we don't want to attach this. This is definitely losable. He's not put down any EX or GX, which is really good. How many Guzma has he played? Only one so far. Yeah, he's legitimately in this game for sure. So we can't Guzma, we can't N. I have to Sycamore this, so we could easily lose. Grossness. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. It'll be 8 anyway. We're actually going to lose this, which is Troll. How many float stones he played? Only one. He must play loads. I can't afford to Guzma. I have to do this. We just lose to his Guzma now. Item usage doesn't matter. More of these. Yeah, we play this every time. Losing to Guzma feels bad, man. Does he have it? Versus Seeker not in the format. 2 Lele's gone. Right, Incredible means he probably has it. Timeable. That deserves a ooh. The BM timeable. Stretcher for Lele, I guess. So he needs Guzma Rainbow. Actually, Guzma fight strong. No, because he promoted Crabominable. You got it. Oh, memes lost to his memes. Rip memes. No. I think it should be noted that if we play Raikou there, we actually win, like every time. That should be noted. That matchup is why we need a Raikou, right there. Damn. Okay. 2 losses so far with our funsies. Let's try and have one more game with this before I definitely put it in the bin. Oh, what fun. Well, we have the Brigette. Frogs. Frogs is another auto loss for us. Oh dear. It's going to be an 0-3 for good old Magnezone Pikachu. Oh dear. I mean, did I ever have high hopes for the deck? Not really. But this is a real sad point. Let's try and get lucky against them. It's basically our win condition. Also, if Coco is prized, we actually lose the game, like, on the spot. Lily, nice, nice. Ultra Ball, that sounds a bit preemptive to me. He should have just held his hand, don't you think? No, I guess he doesn't know what he's playing against. Yeah, it's fine. I guess it's fine. Did we prize Coco? No. I'm actually going to find him like right now because he's super important. We can Brooklet out the Remoraid. Evo Soda. Energy. Oh boy, we lost the game. Just play Vikabulu, guys. just play Vikabulu. What do you even do in a spot like this? I can't even Sycamore because I need the stretcher. This is my only attacker all game. You just concede at this point. I'm done. I ain't sitting here playing against frogs. We have literally no win condition against frogs. So there is Mahone's Pikachu Magnezone. I guess you can test out yourselves. I think these games and the games that I played prior to this as well have shown that this is probably more of a fun times archetype than a real contender. It does have a few matchups on paper, but the practicality of this deck is just not there. I think you need to draw too many cards too often. Maybe it's the changes I made. Maybe Mahone's list is the better 60. I mean, I started off at his, and I made my changes as I went, thinking that mine was better. But maybe like there are still tweaks to be done for this list. I'd like to hear what you guys think about the archetype. I'd like to think, oh my goodness, I'd like to hear what you think about my list, the changes I made, the matches, sure, and everything like that down below. So there we go, guys. Some fun games with a pretty fun deck, and who knows, maybe it's got more potential than I just demonstrated. So leave a like to this video if you did, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. But for now, it has been Joe from OmniPoke, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Cheers.